Hello, guys. Welcome to the second lecture for the course Ancient and Medieval Political Thought. I believe the last time we met in the lecture hall, we discussed the nature and scope of the course. We were able to draw a line of demarcation between political theory, political thought, and political philosophy. Today, we want to look at the competing views of justice. Plato decided to give his own view about what justice should be. But before then, he engaged some three friends of his who were political philosophers to discuss with them or to tap into their idea or find out from them what they believe or they think is the meaning of justice. The first person he engaged was an old man who was about to die. He's called Cephalus. Now, when he asked Cephalus what the meaning of justice was, Cephalus simply said, justice means telling the truth at all times and repaying what one has borrowed all the time. And for him, this is the only way in which one can face death with equanimity. And generally, when people are about to die, their perspective to life and things and responses they give to some of these critical questions are quite interesting. He was about to die. He said, so if I've borrowed something, I have to pay. And you must always tell the truth at all times. But Plato said it cannot be part of justice to tell the truth at all times. Sometimes some lies will have to be told in the view of Plato to save a situation. And maybe later on in the course of our discussion, I'll ask you to give me examples of those times that you have to tell lies to save a situation. But the Ghans among the people of among the people of Ghana believes in this adage that goes like the truth that destroys a nation is not told. And then Plato goes on to say it cannot also be part of justice to always borrow or repay what one has borrowed at all times. Or sometimes you may have borrowed and it will become necessary not to repay. He gives an example that you go and borrow somebody's machete, and after using the machete, the person goes mad. If you want to repay or return the machete to the person who has gone mad, then you will use it to slash your throat. And so it cannot be part of justice to repay what one has always borrowed. We will delve much into this in the lecture hall to interrogate Plato's view or Plato's objection to the views of Cephalus. But he moves on to discuss justice again with another scholar called Polemarchus. He met Polemarchus and asked, what do you think is the meaning of justice? Polemarchus says, justice means doing good to one's friends who are good and harming one's enemies who are bad. Doing good to one's friends who are good and harming one's enemies who are bad. So sometimes there are friends who are people that we describe as friends. They may be good, but there may be people we describe as friends who may be bad. And so he believes that Polemarchus said we should be able to look out for our friends who are good and do good to them. And then we should look at our enemies who are bad and harm them, meaning that not all enemies may be bad to us. But Plato said that the definition of justice must be rational, formal, and impersonal. It cannot be part of justice for one to define it within the confines of those we like or our friends and our enemies. And also, he says that it cannot be part of justice to harm anyone. But saying it cannot be part of justice to harm anyone is debatable, and that's why I said that we may have to also at another time interrogate Plato's responses to the response that were given in his attempt to elicit the views of his political philosopher friends on justice. Sometimes it is part of justice to harm people, and that's how come you throw people into jail. That's how come when people murder, they are also sentenced or given capital punishment, which is also harm to their body or life. Then he goes on to meet another scholar, another political philosopher called Thrasymachus. When he engaged Thrasymachus about what justice is about, Thrasymachus said justice is simply the interest of the stronger. And that was quite a practical view. Thrasymachus believes that what is justice is what is in the interest of the one who is strong and the one who is governing. So oftentimes politicians are always looking at their interest as being what is justice. It may be true, but Plato said that no, justice is not always about looking for the interest of the justice. He said, for instance, medicine and medical practitioners do not look for their own interest. That's Plato. And that medicine is always looking at the interest of those who take it, those that it is administered to. And medical doctors are always not looking for their interest, but they are looking for the interest of their patients. And we say no. Medical doctors in our part of the world, they go on strike, and so they cannot be true that they are always looking at the interest of their clients or their patients. Again, Plato took an issue with the definition of Thrasymachus because Thrasymachus sought to link the strong man and the ruler together. Okay, justice is the interest of the strong man or the one who is ruling. But Plato said that the strong man and the ruler are always not together. They are always not identical. It is not always the case that the one who governs or who rules is strong. That is why sometimes we have revolution. People who may be described as not too strong or enfeeble may be able to act to topple or to torpedo or to overthrow the strong man. So basically, this is what the friends of Plato said, and these are the responses to the issues raised by them. Now, I would pause and look at how Plato himself attempted a definition of justice. So let's continue with the next lecture.